Welcome to Texas Carry Academy. We are going to cover why permitless carry sucks in Texas. So there were several permitless carry bills and they passed the worst one of them all. Truth be told, Texas lawmakers did not want to pass permitless carry to begin with. So what they ended up passing was the most restrictive form of it, and a lot of people don't even understand how bad it is, but they will. So that's not just in Texas. Every other state that has some form of permitless carry or constitutional carry, whichever you want to call it, they mean the same thing. Those states, such as Arizona, for example, they've had it, I think, the longest. Theirs is restrictive too. So even in other states that have had permitless carry for years, in those states, people are better off with the license out of those states also. And Texas is no different. The permitless carry is restrictive, and you have more freedom with the Texas license to carry. But that's not unique to Texas. That applies to all the other permitless / constitutional carry states also. And people will learn that. This is new to Texas, so we understand it because we work in not just Texas, but several other states. So this is a brief coverage of the worst parts of permitless carry in Texas. So one of the main things that's horrible about the bill is you don't have trespass protection under permitless carry, and you have to abide by any and all no gun signs that a place may post. Any of them. So Section 30.5 of Texas Penal Code establishes a new option for a property owner to provide notice to exclude non-licensed holders carrying a firearm in places governed by the General Trespass Statute. So with a license to carry, LTC, we don't even fall under the General Trespass Statute, but permitless carry does. So here's the most damaging part. The sign could come in many different forms. The only legal requirement is that it is reasonably likely to come to the attention of the person entering the building. So they created a 30.5 sign, and this is the general trespass sign. It's just there, and that will apply to permitless carry. You'll see it here on the right. Pursuant to Section 30.5 Penal Code, criminal trespass, a person may not enter this property with a firearm. That's a general trespass sign. That does not apply to those with a license. That will apply to those carrying under permitless carry in Texas. But that's not the only sign that will apply. Any and all signs will apply. So here's a picture of a gun with a red line through it. Here's one that just says no guns. Here's one that says notice, no guns allowed. Any and all of these generic gunbuster signs will apply to those carrying without a license. So any business or place that you go to that has any kind of sign posted like this, you cannot carry in that place of business. You see on the bottom here it says these signs are effective against a person carrying under the authority of the Firearm Carry Act, which is the permitless carry bill in Texas, and not licensed holders. These signs do not apply to licensed holders. So this is huge because this cuts down on a lot of places you can carry, because a lot of businesses will just post up these generic signs to prevent non-licensed people from carrying in their place of business, and a lot of businesses already have these signs. They've had them for years, but as a license holder, we can just ignore them. And if you carry into a place that has any sign posted like this, or any other sign that relates to this, you can be charged. With an LTC, we have only 2 specific signs we have to watch for, and even if we carry past the sign that we're not supposed to, we have trespass protection. So they have to give us the opportunity to leave the building before we are charged with anything. And under permitless carry, you don't have that protection. So if you carry past any no gun sign and get caught, you can be charged right away. So this is huge. It's huge. Now, as an example, there's one state, Oklahoma, when they pass their permitless / constitutional carry, they don't enforce any of these gun buster signs for those that permitless carry. That's the only state that I know of that did that. But Texas didn't do that. Texas made it strict. So there's the no trespass protection, and that's what I mean by no trespass protection. So these are signs that LTC holders can ignore. The signs for a license holder, there's only two that a place has to post to prevent us from carrying. The 30-06 sign, which is on the left, prohibits concealed carry, and the 30-07 sign on the right prohibits open carry. By law, for an LTC holder, by law, these are the only two signs that we have to abide by. They are the only two legally binding no carry signs that a business or a place has to post. That's it, these two. And we have trespass protection. So if one of these signs are posted and we carry into that location anyways and get caught, we still can't be charged. The place, they have to give us the opportunity to leave before they can charge us with anything. The only way we can be charged is if we carry past this sign, get caught, and refuse to leave. That's the only way. That's called trespass protection. So that's huge. That alone makes it worth getting a license for anybody who is seriously thinking about carrying and are serious about it. Or they're going to just get the license. The license is so cheap and so easy to get these days that there's no reason not to get it. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a even cheaper way to get it. So watch the whole video to the end, or just fast forward to the end if you want to. So there's the main thing, but there's more wrong with it. So we're going to skip down here to slide 19 on why should I still get a license to carry. So Texas law gives LTC holders more rights. That is true. As a matter of fact, there are several places that permitless carry can't carry where those with a license can carry. But I'm not going to go into the whole class thing because that would make a long video. So it gives you more rights and it gives you more protection. It's just a lot better with a license. Another big thing is reciprocity. A Texas license to carry allows you to carry in 37 other states. Out of those 37, under permitless carry, you lose 22 states. That's huge. You lose 22 states. So you will, under permitless carry, you don't have reciprocity with most states. So you lose 22 when you're traveling, and that's huge. With a license, you just don't have to worry about it. So that is the second biggest thing about it. And the third thing that is the top three major things for me is school zone carry. Generally, the Federal Gun-Free School Zone Act prohibits carrying a firearm within 1,000 feet of a public or private elementary, middle, or high school. There are several exceptions to this law. Primarily among them is the prohibition does not criminalize the carrying of a firearm by a person who holds a handgun permit or license from the state where the school is located. This means a person who carries an accessible handgun in their vehicle while picking up or dropping off their child without a Texas LTC violates law. So actually, under state and federal law, you have protection with an LTC. This is the only place under federal law that I know that it gives a license to carry holder any kind of rights, and that's in school zones. So This is huge for if you're picking up or dropping off your kid and you have your gun in the car. You can't do it under permitless carry. You can with a license. With a license, you can carry your gun open carry on your side all the way up to the school door and wait for your kid to come out. You can carry on school property. You just can't go in the building. That's with an LTC. Without a license to carry, you can't have it there at all. Not even in your vehicle, dropping or picking up your kids. So that is huge. And then campus carry. They left campus carry out of the permitless carry. So to campus carry, you have to have a license to carry. And then there's other reasons. There's additional benefits of having a license to carry. And the top three that I just listed are the main reasons. Like they're huge, but there are still other benefits. When purchasing a firearm, you avoid a background check. So that is, some people get the license just for that. You go, you show your license, fill out the paperwork, and they don't have to run the background check. That's great. Carrying a handgun with an LTC when under the age of 21. If you're at least 18 years of old and in the military, you can get a Texas license to carry. Then school district employees who have an LTC are protected. That goes under the school zone law that we just talked about, plus under Texas law. Under Texas law, you have to have an LTC to have your gun in your vehicle, even on a school parking lot, dropping off kids. If you're an employee of a school, Texas law allows you to leave your gun in your vehicle while you're at work, if you have an LTC. Without an LTC, you cannot do that. It is against federal and state law to do that. You have to have an LTC. So if you're a school district employee, you must have an LTC if you want to leave your gun in your car to do that. And then there's just tons of other things that apply to different people, such as if you're on a church security team, churches can put together their own armed security team made up of just any member of their church, as long as that person has a Texas license to carry. And it just goes on and on. Then private property owners may not allow constitutional to carry. And we've covered the signs, like any no gun sign will apply to those under permitless carry. License to carry holders are entitled to more notice at some prohibited locations, and that is true. You have more protection in a lot of areas when it comes to having a license to carry. And another thing they did this year was, when they passed this, they took away the unlawful carrying of a weapon while you're intoxicated. They took that out of the license to carry and put it in permitless carry. So it is no longer against the law to carry your handgun while you're intoxicated if you have a license to carry. Now, firearms and alcohol don't mix, and never recommended, but it's not there anymore. So some officers would say, oh, there's a zero tolerance alcohol rule if you're carrying your gun, blah, 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 with an LTC or without an LTC. And now with an LTC, that doesn't apply. So if you get charged with a DWI or public intoxication and you're carrying your gun, they can no longer charge you with unlawful carrying of a weapon on top of that if you're an LTC holder. Under permitless carry, that's where they moved the law, so it applies to you. You cannot carry while you're intoxicated, and a lot of officers take that as a zero tolerance thing. So there's just tons of reasons, and I can't go over every little thing, but I went over the main ones. Here's talking about the final statutory provision against carrying a handgun in a bar does not apply to a license holder. Oh, it just goes on and on. But the main three, the prohibited carry signs and not having trespass protection and the school zone thing, those are the top three. Like, those are enough. So permitless carry, what they passed in Texas is okay. For a start, I guess. It's better than nothing, but it's almost nothing. So if you want to get a Texas license to carry, you can take our online course at texascarryacademy.com. And when you are checking out, use promo code Texas, and you get half off the course, making the course only $30. I will leave a link in the description, and make sure you write down the coupon code Texas. That will give you half off the online course, and anybody from anywhere in Texas can take our online LTC course. It is the official course, and it is approved statewide. Carry every day and stay safe.